I don't want to be an alarmist, but traditional endpoint security systems, also known as antivirus or anti-malware, don't work anymore. And the threat is not the brilliant but misunderstood hackers from movies cleverly finding their way into some back door. It's actually much simpler than that. The current tools just don't work. Scans work like this. Every application that runs on your computer has something called a hash signature. Hashes are essentially a fancy way to uniquely identify a file. And what happens when scanning is that the software runs that hash signature against a very long list of known malware threat hash signatures. This system doesn't work for a few reasons. First, known threat databases are always out of date. New malware is born every day. Software companies push updates to address these new threats, but by sheer volume, that data is overwhelming. Even now, the number of known malware threats is likely in the hundreds of millions. So most tools only load the most likely threats to your computer, which means the armor you think you're wearing is actually full of holes. Scanning is also resource intensive. We all know the feeling of trying to use a computer while it's scanning. It's almost impossible. In fact, many end users just skip the scan, which completely negates any benefits. 0 day is the day malware is first discovered on your computer. It can be on your network for days, weeks, or months before being discovered. Think Conficker. Also, malware authors are smart people, and the most successful ones being written today are actually programmed to disguise themselves by changing hash signatures every time they execute. So really, what's the point? To understand how to stop malware from attacking our computers, we have to understand how malware gets on them in the first place. So let's talk about exploits. Every application has security vulnerabilities. Those programming errors can be leveraged to make the application do things it wasn't intended to do. And people find them and exploit them, especially in large enterprise applications like those from Microsoft, Apple, Adobe, Linux, and others. These exploits take advantage of these vulnerabilities to install malware. Trust is important. When you order a new pair of shoes from Amazon, you trust the delivery person, the box, and the item. But imagine that in addition to the pair of shoes, in came an invisible gremlin to mess with your stuff. It can get your personal information, your financial data, or even open a door to let other gremlins in or out. Even leave some nasty crap behind. Sun Management has tools that allow administrators to protect the endpoint regardless of current architecture. These tools look at the broader attack lifecycle, from vulnerabilities to malware, and take action on both fronts before any damage is done. Our tools can be leveraged in any environment depending on customer preference and need, allowing for cloud or on-premise deployment flexibility across the most common endpoint platforms used today. Because of the ever-changing security landscape, our tools operate with no need for signature updating and the ability to operate autonomously off the grid, allowing for constant protection regardless of location or connection state. Learn more about the future of endpoint security at www.sunmanagement.net/endpoint-protection.